Welcome to this profound exploration of the human spirit and divine mystery as we delve into the ancient epic of Job. We stand at the threshold of a narrative that has challenged faith for millennia. Join me as we journey through the land of Uz to witness the trial and the ultimate restoration of a soul. This cinematic experience will transport you to the heart of a cosmic conflict. Let us begin. Within these weathered pages lies the account of a man who possessed everything, only to find himself at the center of a cosmic wager. It is a text that has fascinated seekers for centuries. We begin our journey by opening this sacred volume and stepping back in time. In the fertile lands of Uz, Job reigned as a paragon of virtue and immense material success. He possessed thousands of livestock and was surrounded by a family that brought immense joy to his soul. Every dawn, he offered sacrifices for his 10 children, fearing they might have strayed from the path of righteousness in their hearts. His life was a masterpiece of order, peace, and absolute integrity before the heavens. He moved with the quiet confidence of a man whose conscience was as clear as the morning sun over the desert. The entire region looked to him as a beacon of wisdom and a source of boundless generosity to the poor. Little did he know that his very perfection had become the centerpiece of a conversation in the celestial realm. His world was about to be shaken by forces beyond his mortal comprehension. He was a man blessed in every way, yet his greatest trial was yet to begin. Uz flourished under his guidance. His wealth was not just a collection of assets, but a symbol of a life lived in harmony with the divine. His reputation for justice was known across many kingdoms, and his influence was vast. He was a pillar of the ancient world. This era of peace was about to reach a sudden and terrifying conclusion. Beyond the physical world, a divine assembly gathers. Among them stands the adversary, a cynical prosecutor who questions the nature of human devotion. He argues that Job's piety is merely a transaction. Stretch out your hand and strike his world, the shadow dares, and he will curse you. The challenge is accepted, granting permission to test a righteous man's integrity. The boundaries are drawn for an onslaught that will redefine suffering. The heavens watch as a perfect life is marked for ruin. This cosmic wager begins in silence, hidden from the man who is about to lose everything. The divine and the dark forces converge on Uz. This celestial gamble will test the limits of human endurance. God maintains confidence in his servant, setting the stage for an epic conflict. This is a battle for the soul of humanity, played out in the life of a single righteous individual. The atmosphere in the court is electric with tension. Every angelic host looks on as the first movements are set into motion. The fate of Uz hangs in the balance of a conversation that Job cannot hear. The trial begins now. In one catastrophic day, messengers of doom arrive to deliver news of annihilation. Sabean raiders steal oxen and slaughter servants with the sword. While the first speaks, another tells of a supernatural fire from the sky. This celestial blaze consumes the sheep and shepherds, leaving only ashes. Then come the Chaldeans, seizing camels and leaving an empire in absolute wreckage. The speed of destruction is breathless, leaving no time to process the magnitude of tragedy. Every pillar of stability is toppled by invisible forces. The air is thick with smoke and the echoes of a life being dismantled. Uz has transformed into a landscape of desolation. Job's prosperity has vanished like morning mist. Sounds of mourning rise as the first waves of the storm hit the household. Each messenger brings a darker account, stripping away every layer of worldly security. He stands amidst the ruins of his success, a man suddenly alone. The tragedy is absolute, leaving no room for hope. Every possession he once cherished is now a memory buried under the weight of violent poverty. The desert wind carries the cries of those who have survived. Job's silence is the first sign of his remarkable endurance. He refuses to react with bitterness. The final messenger brings a blow that strikes the heart of Job's existence. A mighty wind has collapsed the house where his children were feasting. In an instant, his legacy is buried beneath stone and dust. Job rises, shaves his head, and falls to the earth in surrender. Naked, I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return, he declares. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. The trial intensifies as disease strikes his flesh from head to foot. He sits upon a heap of ashes, a pariah whose body is a canvas of pain. He takes a shard of pottery to scrape his skin, seeking relief. His wife urges him to curse the heavens and die. Job rebukes her, maintaining his integrity. He waits in heavy silence, anchored in truth. He is a king without a kingdom, a father without children. The world has abandoned him, but his righteousness remains as his only possession. He is the ultimate figure of the suffering righteous. He sits in the heavy silence, waiting for an answer. The ash heap becomes a throne of suffering. He will face the ultimate questions of human destiny. His world has shrunk to the size of his pain. He is anchored in truth. Three companions, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, travel from distant lands to offer comfort. When they see his unrecognizable state, they are overwhelmed by his misery. They enter into a 7-day vigil of absolute and heavy silence. This quiet empathy is the last moment of peace before the air is filled with theological debate. They represent the established wisdom, believing that suffering must be evidence of hidden transgression. Their compassion transforms into a clinical need to defend their rigid worldview. They wait for Job to speak, preparing their arguments like weapons. When Job curses the day of his birth, they launch verbal assaults on his integrity. They demand a confession for a crime he has not committed. Job shatters their logic with volcanic fury, maintaining his innocence. He demands his day in court to face his accuser. The debate rages through long nights, a clash of human theories against raw reality. He will not yield his righteousness to their theological lies. He stands alone in the desert, waiting for the true voice to speak. Their silence is not one of peace, but of growing judgment. They are about to launch a series of assaults. He will not be silent about the injustice of his current state. He refuses to yield. He stands firm. Suddenly, silence is shattered as the Creator answers Job out of the heart of a magnificent whirlwind. This is the moment Job has demanded, yet it is unlike anything he imagined. The voice of the Almighty does not offer a legal defense or an explanation for pain. Instead, it launches into a panoramic interrogation concerning the foundations of the entire cosmos. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation and set boundaries for the seas? God asked Job to consider the secrets of the morning stars and the chains that bind the constellations. The divine perspective reveals a universe that is wild, dangerous, and governed by wisdom beyond understanding. We witness the birth of the oceans and the provision for creatures of the deep mountains. The whirlwind becomes a classroom of cosmic scale, where petty calculations of merit are swept away. Job is confronted with the majesty of a creator whose concerns extend beyond human morality. The storm is the voice of the infinite, drowning out mortal complaints with the sound of the universe. The discourse reaches its climax with Behemoth and Leviathan. These monsters represent elements beyond human control, yet they are part of the complex tapestry of a beautiful world. God does not apologize for their existence. He boasts of them as part of His sovereign design. The message is clear. If He cannot control these creatures, how can He judge the justice of the Creator? The whirlwind recedes, leaving Job in profound humility. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you, Job declares as he repents in the ashes. The mystery remains, but the presence is enough to quiet the soul. He sees the grandeur of a world that is not made for convenience alone. He finds peace. The storm has passed. He is transformed by the vision. Silence remains. In the final chapter, the fortunes of the sufferer are restored with abundance. The Creator rebukes the friends for not speaking what is right. Job is restored, receiving twice as much wealth as he lost. He becomes the father of 7 sons and daughters. Jemimah, Keziah, and Keren-Happuch are named and celebrated, receiving an inheritance that breaks ancient customs. Job lives another 140 years, seeing 4 generations of his descendants. The restoration is not a replacement for loss, but a testament to the mysterious nature of grace. The scars of his journey remain, a silent reminder of the day he faced the whirlwind and survived. His story becomes a legacy of resilience for all those who find themselves in the ash heaps of life. We end our journey where it began, in Uz, but with a man who has seen the face of the infinite. The darkness has passed, and the light of wisdom shines upon a life that was tested and found true. Grace has the final word in the story of Job. We witness the final sunrise over a life transformed by the presence of the Almighty. Closure and the promise of hope remain. The darkness has passed, light of wisdom shines. Grace has the final word. He died at a full and wise age. The journey is complete. Hope remains for all. Peace returns to Uz. Integrity is rewarded. Wisdom is found. Faith is true. Dawn has come. Uz is at peace. The legacy lives on. Darkness is gone. Grace is here. Farewell to Uz. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey through the book of Job today. This story challenges us to hold on to our integrity even when the universe seems silent. It reminds us that there is a wisdom beyond our own and a presence that stays with us in the whirlwind. May you find strength in your own trials and the courage to seek the truth. Until we meet again, may your pursuit of wisdom be deep. Farewell.